welcome back to the Airport Road Podcast. Bringing us in this time, seeing how I can do this as best going forward, right? Myself, AJ, welcome my co-host, Cade Guerrero. Cade, how you doing today?
I'm doing great.
What is that on your What is that on your mug? Curious.
That's me and my girlfriend. Yeah,
Nice. I
got for
only
last
ask
Christmas.
because on our end, for whatever reason, it both looks like we're filming in like 10 FPS. I don't know why. But that's
Yeah,
okay. That's
yeah,
okay. People are here to listen to us, not
yeah.
stare
People
at your
come
mugs.
to hear us talk, man. Talk about current events, whatever we
Well,
feel like.
we'll start off. We'll get the heavier stuff out of the way. Just see Trump just signed the COVID relief bill.
Yeah, I saw it. I didn't read into it though. I don't think it pertains to me.
No,
Um,
you know,
but yeah, but
unfortunately,
it pertains to you, right?
pertains to a lot of people because we're getting
Yeah,
another round of stimulus bills. Do you kind of want to get into why that does not pertain to you? Because I
because
think that's a good like talking point personally because I know a lot of people deal with the same stuff.
well, I mean, it doesn't pertain to me because I still work. I've been working during this whole thing. I
But
have another job as well.
well, no, not that. So not the unemployment benefits, but the stimulus bill. Because
Why it does
you didn't get the first stimulus bill, did you?
no.
Just because of
Yeah.
a kind of a rough circumstance. We don't have to talk about that if you don't want to. We don't have to get into it.
Well, no, because I'm still dependent.
Yeah,
I'm still on mom's trust fund.
yeah, unfortunately, but that's not through your own. How do you feel about that? Because you don't really have a say in it. Huh?
I don't, man. She gets tax write-offs for having me, so she wants to keep me as long as she can. So I don't blame her.
I mean,
I
it's
have,
only a couple
I have.
more weeks.
Yeah, it's true because I turned 26.
Hmm.
But I mean, I don't blame her, dude. I mean, I have cost that woman so much money. Like,
So you don't really care.
so
I mean,
I don't really care. Like, I have to pay my mom. I'm in debt with my mom, probably
she's gonna
like
send the
around.
sharks.
Yeah, well, it's only 3 grand I have to pay her back. But here's the thing: I've done so much others. I have like shattered the porch door when I was a teenager. I dropped that. Well, I didn't drop out, but I got kicked out of private school, and that was a fuck ton of money. I wrecked my Jeep when I was in high school. I did so many things. So, oh yeah, I had to have a lawyer too when I was in high school. I've
So
racked up
you're good.
prob.
Yeah. So
I don't deserve that money. I don't like.
I
I don't
wouldn't say
deserve that
that.
money. I don't. She paid for all my college except for that last year. That's the reason why I'm in debt with her now is I'm paying her back for my last semester of college. But yeah, I mean, it could be worse. There's a lot of other kids that aren't as fortunate as I am. You know what I mean?
Did you just
But
call
that's a
yourself
whole.
a kid? Here's the
I'm still
thing.
a kid. I'm a man, baby.
The only reason I ask you about it though is because, from my understanding, and I guarantee I don't know the whole ins and outs of your situation, but the benefits that she's getting are not comparable to the benefits that you'd be getting if you were just filing by yourself as an independent.
Yeah.
So that's why it kind of. I mean, I get it. I mean, she's got one more. She's got she got one more child that she could use. You know what I mean? I mean, I guess it really doesn't matter at this point because
It's already
regardless, you're
over.
on your own. But I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, I know. I'm not trying to throw it in your face whatsoever, but you did miss out on that first round of stimulus
Yeah, but
relief,
I
and
mean, I
but
worked at the same
yeah, you've been
time,
working.
so
Yeah, I guess
yeah,
that's
so
true. Yeah, the unemployment stuff is the big thing that might pertain to me because I mean, and I'll kind of get into it. I've been furloughed again for my third time. It's always fun. Two of my jobs are still going, but the the work that we can due is like cut in half or cut in quarters compared to what it normally is. So it's still affecting me in that way. And then job where you and I work together, that place isn't even opening for me. I'm not gonna get to go back until it's on a case per population or positive test per population basis. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's never gonna. We're gonna be we're gonna be pretty rough here for a while. So
Mhm.
I'm not expecting that.
Yeah.
So yeah, dude, my unemployment stuff. I'm having issues that aren't on my end. It's on the workforce solutions end, and I just can't get a hold of anybody. And I have until like the 31st or the 29th. I forget what date it is to get all my shit situated, or else it's just done. And I just can't get a hold of anybody to get it situated. And it's
Yeah.
frustrating as shit, 'cause I know it's been that way for a lot of people for this, a lot of this time during this pandemic. So
Yeah.
um, I mean, even if I can't, even if I lose it, I mean, I'll be all right. I'll be able to hopefully find something somewhere else till all
Mhm.
this shit boils over. But it's looking like it's gonna last a good while, a lot
Yeah.
longer than we thought. But hey, but yeah, it's I mean, it was frustrating because he vetoed the bill the first time around as an attempt to. He wanted he wanted all this other stuff. He was trying to paint it as he wanted the stimulus bills be increased to 2,000 instead of 600.
Mhm.
But there was all this other stuff that was butting heads. So got passed last week. Then he vetoed it. They were kind of debating it again, and we were facing another government shutdown tomorrow as we film this. And so he kind of caved and just signed it. So that, I mean, it was all for naught. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I mean, this
I
uh,
mean, yeah.
it's
Yeah.
gonna take.
You know.
It took months for the first COVID or stimulus bills to come out the first time. And in all honesty, like $600 is nice. It's money that we don't have coming in right now. It's money. It's money for people. But dude, what is that really gonna for people who need that money? What is $600 gonna do? Nothing. It's gonna get you nothing.
Yeah. Dude, I don't know, man. At the same time, oh
Get into it.
God.
Let me hear it, cause I know you have your
No,
very.
man.
I wanna get
No,
into it. We can have
dude.
a good
Okay, all right.
discussion. We don't have to
I
argue.
can't, man. It's the
Come on.
climate, the political climate's too iffy. You know me, dude.
But people get
I'm
it.
like
Everyone's
I'm on
everyone's
I'm on the
experiencing this
fence,
stuff.
bro.
Just
I'm
say
on the
what you're gonna
fence,
say.
man.
Why are you
You
laughing?
know, I'll lean any way a person wants me to lean. You know.
You take it however
uh,
people are giving it. No, what were you gonna
yeah.
say? Come on.
All right.
Curious.
So the reason why I'm like, okay, yes, you could just like sit there and kind of wait for the money at the same time and try to kind of juggle and see what other opportunities that are out there. But at the same time, man, we have seen people, and it's just people that we know, people that we work with, um, particularly at this one spot here in Albuquerque. That I mean, they were banking off those first payments. And I think we were talking about. I think we might have discussed this in one of our earlier episodes. We have a buddy of ours actually who hasn't even like tried to do anything. He's just been living off that unemployment. Chris, I'm calling you out. Anyway, but like, dude, it's like I get it. It is hard, but go out there and try to fucking make a difference in something, man. You get all this free time now. Like after everything kind of opened back up, everybody came back with like hesitancy because they didn't want to work enough hours so they could get the unemployment still. But other than that, they weren't really searching for anything to improve their like life outside of what they were doing. Like I heard people like talking about going back to school, they never did. I heard people like starting up projects, they never went through with them. It's like we created La Tonique through the whole pandemic. We were trying to like try to do something proactive and try to like kind of make a difference and help other people out. Like you got free time, you got all this creative energy. Put that energy into something while you have time to do it. Because once everything goes back to normal, you're not going to get another shot to do stuff. Like I've been myself. I've been racking up projects left and right, just stuff to do. And I've been working this whole time. You know what I mean? That might not be a popular opinion.
I get what you're saying, but
But
I mean, it's like a
uh,
per person kind of thing because I mean, like you said, I've been in this. I'm in the same boat as the people that you were mentioning, but I mean, I wasn't just kind of. I mean, I wasn't sitting here just waiting for shit to come in. Like, it's genuinely terrifying that like any second you're income, like you're relying on this income because you're waiting for stuff to open back up. Like, you don't want to leave your job for, you know what I mean? Like, if you're established at a place and you're doing well at that place, you don't want to just leave for whatever. So you're kind of relying on this unemployment stuff. Like, okay, maybe my job will open back up eventually. Hopefully it'll open up soon. I don't know. And then it's just taken away from you. Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, we don't know what people use this time for. Like, a lot of
that's
people
true.
have used this time to catch up on their bills or, to
Hmm.
make, to fix stuff up at their house. Like, what if they finally got to redo their bathroom that they've been trying to save up to do it, or to redo the backyard. I redid my backyard.
Mm.
Um, in hindsight, because I didn't need to do the backyard. I mean, that was something we definitely have been wanting to do, and something we needed to do it. I guess we could have waited, but in hindsight, like, that was back in May. I didn't think this shit would still be going on into December. I don't think anybody did. So
Yeah,
I mean, it's hard to fault people on that. The people that are, and it's hard though because they're pretty on top of it. Like, you have to be actively looking for work. You know what I mean? The people that are just living off of it, yeah, you're shitty. If you've not even once tried to like genuinely try to find another job, I mean, it's whatever. Like, I mean, I don't want to bring him up here, but you brought up somebody earlier. I know that particular person uses this time. Like, he works
bring
on a
him
lot
on
of
up.
he works on music and does this stuff. Like, I mean, it's a passion of his. Is something he's getting some time. You're never gonna get this time to do stuff like that again. But the people that are just sitting at home,
Mm.
smoking a
Yeah,
bowl left and right, getting drunk, still going out, still hanging out with their friends. I mean, I'm sorry, but you're a loser if you're doing that. If you're not being proactive, if you're not trying to, if your place opens back up and you're hesitant, finding ways to not go back, yeah, you're a loser. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
the unemployment's been about, it's been $300 a month or a week, excuse me, maximum. People get less for whatever reason. 300 maximum since, I think it's a little bit more than that. Anyway, since, gosh, has it been since August? It's not a lot of money, dude. That's not really livable money. So if people have been living off of that and like just kind of getting by on that, that's awesome. I'm glad for you, but you know what I mean? Like, people who are just taking that $300 a week and just rolling with it and living off that, yeah, those people are a problem, and there's probably a lot more of them out there than we realize. You know what I mean? So it's
yeah,
frustrating. There's perspectives all over this place.
yeah. I mean, whatever. The reason why I brought up our buddy Chris because I have a personal vendetta against him. So
Shout out
sorry,
to
man.
Chris. He's an avid listener.
At the same
Appreciate the
time, I'm not
support.
sorry.
Anyway, move off that.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, I mean, that there's just a bunch of other things, but it's just frustrating that
yeah.
took
Well,
that
you know what,
extra week to
man?
debate shit, but nothing
Yeah, I
changed.
mean, I wish we could get out of this where we're talking about um just like kind of like the environment we're in right now.
I know.
Like what I wanted to talk about today is I wanted to talk about podcasts, dude. Like
Okay.
I'm not a podcast guy at all.
Mm.
I'll watch a few every once in a while. Like there's this dude who has this one called Tiger Belly. It's
Hmm.
that comedian. It's an Asian dude. I forgot Bobby Lee. That's his name.
Bobby Lee has. I watch his best friend's podcast,
That
Tiger
one's a good
Belly.
one too.
I love Bobby Lee.
And then there's another dude that I watch who's a buddy of his, Theo Vaughn.
Oh yeah, I like Theo Von as well.
Yeah.
Dude,
But there's like
everybody has a podcast these
everybody has a
days.
fucking podcast, and everybody goes about it the same goddamn way. And they're just like talking to each other. And oh, what do you think about this? Oh, well, here's the thing. And I'm like, dude, holy shit, I'm gonna kill myself.
So
right
I
now.
I
I think I
know
might kill myself on air right now because that's how much I hate podcasts.
I know
I'm not a
you
podcast guy.
I know you dislike this guy heavily, but I really like to look at his stuff
Never
for
heard
like
of them.
influence. Was H3H3 podcast? You know who I'm talking about, right? The guy that you I
Oh
forget what you
wait,
say about their wife. The
H3H3?
guy and the wife. You
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
always an asshole about the wife.
She looks like a
They have been.
ghoul.
I mean, their main thing is their podcast now, and they've been. I mean, they have such a variety of the podcasts they do. They started pushing out at a point. I mean, it fluctuates, but they were doing like 3 or 4 a week, and each one
Mm-hmm.
had a different format. Like their Mondays, the ones that came out Monday, they would bring on a guest. They would interview them and just kind of talk to them about whatever. On
Yeah,
Tuesdays, he has a podcast with Trisha Paytas because they get. Do you know who that is?
I know her because of just seen her everywhere, dude. She used to
Yeah.
date that Vine guy,
Yeah, Jason
Jason
Nash.
Nash.
So that whole thing started because like H3 and him he made a video like making fun of her pretty much. So they hated each other. So that's like the theme of the podcast is called Frenemies. She's had like 2 meltdowns on air.
See, yeah,
Um
yeah,
and
I
then
can't
their
do that.
Thursday one. So have you ever seen Content Cop by iDubbbz? Did you ever watch those?
No, but I know who iDubbbz is, and I can tell you right now, I haven't even seen a single video of his, and
You
I
don't
do
like him.
not like him.
So, anyways, he did these video things back in the day called Content Cops, and he'd get a creator that's like shitty, and he
Mhm.
would like make a video calling him out. And they're real good friends. So, anyways, they have a podcast format called Content Court, and it's a podcast, but it's like they get some, like a channel or a person, and they just like riff on them about shit they're doing, and like hold them on trial. And
Mhm.
then on Fridays they do it's like H3 After Dark, and it's like a live podcast. Um, they don't worry about any YouTube uh, strikes, like copyright strikes for music, so they'll watch videos, not have to worry about getting struck. So they have that's 4 different podcast formats. I know you don't like the guy, but it's super interesting that they're pushing the boundary, like you said. So
Mhm.
it's not just people sitting down and talking. Because I
Yeah, I
agree.
mean, like they do put. I will give them credit. They diversify their content, which is cool. It doesn't pertain to me though. Like it doesn't
No,
reach out to
doesn't have to.
like me.
That's fine.
But I give them credit. I mean, to make content in the digital age, you got to start thinking of new ideas quick and follow a formula, break the formula like that one dude, Mr. Beast. Like, I hate his
I
shit.
don't like
Like,
that guy either, man.
I see his thumbnails and I'm like, nope, not for me. But
But
it's
that's the
also
thing, right?
it's like kids are drawn to that, like middle schoolers and stuff like that. But see, that's the thing about like the internet age, man. It's like I can't fucking stand it. I can't. It's like fucking brutal. Just to like get on takes like a bunch of energy from me. Because once I get on, it puts me in a bad mood off the bat. How many times have I been off and on social media?
Fuck, dude.
Like
I can't even keep count.
I've lost count. I've lost count of how many times. And the funny thing is, being a journalist, I've done like a handful of multimedia content of hosting shows and trying to push content for my publication, and it's different from that perspective, but I guess as a consumer I just can't.
Your
I
only
can't
social
even.
media you have right now is Twitter, right?
Yeah,
And you
personally, yeah.
and you made that because of La Tonique, right? That's when you reactivated it or
Yeah,
remade it.
yeah. And I was off of social media for a while, and then when I started writing for my college newspaper, I joined back on, and then that's what I would use. I had a good amount of followers, and then I was like kind of out of journalism for like a year. I took like a year long hiatus, and I saw these journalists kind of like jerking each other off, so I just like bounced off. You know what I mean?
You didn't
And
want to jump in there, help out,
uh,
lend a hand.
kind of man, their content wasn't it didn't line up to mine. Too much politics, crime,
Yeah.
crime and politics kind of runs the journalism
Yeah.
arena.
I mean,
But I
it's weird, dude.
mean,
If you
yeah,
think about it, how many podcasts there are, dude, it's exhausting. There's so much, and that's why you and I are trying to find our niche, and it's hard. We talked about this multiple times. We probably sound like poor me people, but I mean, we got a lot of shit going on. We'd love to throw so much more focus into this and like make it something cool and different. So that's all you gotta do. I mean, that's with anything too.
yeah, I think we need to fix how we like the intro, the outro, you know, because there's, I
I
mean,
didn't do
like
good enough today.
no, like I'm just like
Wow.
switch it up, bro. You did a great job. You did an awesome
I-
job. But like at the same time, our music, our production, we need to have like a studio too. Once everything opens back up,
Well, I mean, we
we make a
technically
little
did.
studio.
Well, we had like it was an at-home studio, but we had our whole setup with our studio lights, the camera, the table, our chairs,
Mm.
our mics. Like we're permanently set up at one particular place, and then we had to break down shop and kind of pack it up, and then now it's just the two lone wolves. But
Yeah.
I mean, we'll get all that figured out. That's something definitely that we have in mind is like a physical studio where we can do all production from. Um,
Yeah, but I don't know. We'll see.
hey, I think it's
Podcasts
good.
are,
I enjoy listening to us.
yeah. I think the funny thing too is when Jake, who was the main guy who pitched the idea of
Oh,
running a podcast on Tonique, right?
mm-hmm.
I mean, I was down for it, but at the same time, I was like, I could take it or leave it, you know?
Do you still feel that way?
Well, fuck, we're already in episode 14, I think.
That didn't answer my question.
It's like when you, what's the best way to put this? What's the best way of putting this without sounding
I don't
bad?
know, but make sure you sound
It's
like
like
you want to do this.
when you go home and your mom makes you some food, but your mom's a terrible cook, but you don't want to make her feel bad, so you just keep eating food.
You hate doing this that much? Is that what you're trying to say?
No, I don't mind it at all. I don't mind it. I don't mind doing this at all because we get to hang out. We get to hang out with Stepan, who is one of our good buddies, and I very seldomly see him and talk to him. And we get to have new people on here too, like Malambo was great to have on, and so it's great. It's been a cool experience. I just hate the technical shit. Like I hate like levels and making sure the video is good and editing. Editing used to be like a 3 hour process,
Yeah,
but
we're getting better at that. So, well, we'll get there, man. I think that's the cool thing too. Is yeah, when we're able to bring on people to talk to that we normally wouldn't get the opportunity to talk to otherwise. Hey, we'll get there, man. But we just need to.
yeah.
I think the issue is you and I both feel. I could just be speaking out of turn for you, but I feel like I'm not entertaining enough sometimes. So I'm like, try to be a little bit funnier. That's why we had the good dynamic when it was us three.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying you and I don't have a good dynamic, but when we first started, ever since then we've kind of had to regroup and figure it
Yeah.
out.
I mean, also it's like we get so fucking awkward sometimes. Not just me and you, everybody. There's like these awkward pauses and trying to be polite, and then also like trying to look at the time and making sure you stamp in those subjects like, all right, let's talk about culture. All right, let's talk about sports. All right, let's talk about politics. And you're all trying to do it in a certain time frame where the video's not super long. And then it just gets awkward and then it seems scripted because I think when we first started, we wanted to go off script. And then we are like, fuck it. And also, all at first, you and I and Jake, we're all pretty lazy as well. You know what I mean? Like, we'll do it.
I take offense to that.
No, we're all pretty good at like getting around to everything, but when it comes to certain things, there's like small things that we always miss, and then we're like, oh, we'll let it just drop by the wayside. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
it's like we were supposed to write a script every every Friday night before we went into film on Saturday, and we never got around to it. And we were supposed to do all these other things, but I don't know, man. It's like you just sometimes it gets too awkward because you know you're on camera and you want to like you have an idea of what you want to do, and you kind of got to direct as well. I mean, I've been behind camera. You've been behind camera too as an actor. Shit gets awkward.
It's the worst. I used to have a big problem being able to like watch myself on camera at all or listen to myself talk. I hated it. I remember we'd have to do video projects in high school, and when we'd like watch our video projects, when I knew it was going to be my my video being played that day, like I would intentionally miss school. I would be sick to miss school just so I wouldn't have to do it, dude. It was for me. That was the worst. But I mean, I don't mind it now.
Yeah.
It's fun. I mean, it's fun to come and shoot the shit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It's easier to bounce off people, especially when it's people we don't know as well. So we can kind of get that. You know what I mean? We can kind of get that uh, give and take from someone else.
Yeah, and I think especially my experiences behind camera. I remember when I was hosting those food shows, when we were first getting back into it, like last year, we were doing this profile on Brew Lab 101. Remember that one?
Hmm.
And we get there, and I hadn't done it in a while. And usually I was like automatic. I just knew what I was going to say. You just kind of have to lead the interviewee, the subject. Super easy. But once he was like, all right, action, I forgot what the fucking brewery name was, dude. I got like super red. And plus, we were drinking beer before it. And like, when you get like you drink and your face just gets hot, I was
Yep.
sweating. I was like, fuck.
I mean, that's not a very good combo, but
Four takes on the first, like, now I get a first impression. Did I ever tell you about my audition?
yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. You called me right after and told me how awkward it is, how horrible it is.
Yeah, we're going to get back into acting, though.
Man, I've been trying. Not really. My headshots. I just hate even talking about this shit, but my headshots are from when I was my senior year of high school. So like 6 years old. No, not that. Yes, fuck, 6 years old. Fuck. Wow. Anyway,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's anyway, lighter topic. Let's get into some sports, man. Today was a weird day.
See, that's what I'm talking about, dude. Now we got to hit sports.
No, we don't have to, but I want to talk about it because
That's
we were
easy.
talking about Dwayne Haskins, dude. Let's talk about Dwayne Haskins. This guy is single-handedly screwing his
Ass.
career up.
Yeah, if anybody doesn't know, to our viewers who don't know much about sports, Dwayne Haskins was a first round pick this year,
Last year.
last year, 15th. I want to say he's in the middle of the pack. By then,
Don't
the Washington
say it, you son
Redskins,
of a bitch.
and now
We're
the
done.
Washington football team.
We are
Just
done.
clarifying. We're not taking a
Okay.
stance on whether their name should be which or which, but clarifying. All right. Anyway, uh, he had played a couple of games last season. Now that I remember, he was drafted last season. He showed some promise.
Yeah, he
Well,
played
anyway,
better as the year went
yeah,
on, for sure.
and anyway, he's been given a little bit more responsibility. Was made captain of the team
Of the
and
football team.
of the football team. Yeah, and Alex Smith came in, got hurt. I can't remember the other quarterback.
So this year,
Yeah,
so he started the year as the starter, but they benched his ass because he just was not. He wasn't really playing that bad, but he wasn't playing good. So they benched his ass for Kyle Allen of all people, and Kyle Allen got hurt. So Alex Smith made like his miraculous comeback, and then Alex Smith got hurt again. So now they finally like they had to go. They didn't have a choice. They had to go back to Dwayne Haskins, and it's just the dude sucked last week, right? He was horrible. He freaking the night after the game, after they lose, he gets caught at a strip club without a mask. Right? That's a no-no. We can't do that these days.
That that's a nasty.
That's nasty, dude. Gentlemen, don't do that. But even in just COVID world, NFL COVID world, you just don't do that shit. So that was a big deal.
Yeah.
So they stripped him of his captain status. He was voted team captain by his teammates, and they stripped that from him, rightfully so. And then he goes out this week, shits the bed this week, royally, shall I say. And then this dude leaves the game because they benched him. He declines to talk to media, which is a big no. Like, you have to talk to media unless you're injured. And then he left the team. He left the stadium without, like, he just went home by himself. Didn't wait for the team. Nothing. So this dude's career, man, is just it's not looking good.
It's not looking good at
Not
all.
looking good. And I genuinely thought he was decent, man. I think I told you that I wanted the Colts to possibly go after him if there was an opportunity, because dude's got to be what,
Yeah.
22, 23 years old. But
Yeah.
I think I'll pass now after all this shit.
Well, here's another different story about a pro athlete in a strip club. You know, James Harden was recently
Oh my
caught
god.
having his birthday party in a strip club, but however, he's a proven veteran. I mean, he's former MVP, probably first ballot Hall of Famer without a question, and he has the Rockets in his pocket. They even went on record saying that, maybe I'm misquoting this actually, but journalists, sports journalists around the area has been saying that, you know, Harden has all the leverage there. You know, he's the kind of guy who goes out to a club one night and comes back and puts like 40, 30 points up. So they're okay with that. It's like one of those what situation where this was kind of like a similar thing, but
Like, he could do whatever he wants,
he can do whatever he wants.
kind of
So
situation.
yeah, you have two pro players. You got Dwayne Haskins, who's still kind of unproven, and he's getting stripped. But you have Harden, first ballot Hall of Famer. You know, they're just gonna brush it off. They don't care. He's gonna
What's
put up 40.
what's the difference though?
There really is no difference, but it's
There's
how the
such a
organize.
huge difference. What are you
No,
talking
well,
about?
it's how the two. There's no difference in the how the two actions were played out, but it's different how
Okay, I see
both
what you're saying.
organizations dealt with it. Does that make sense?
I see what you're saying. Well, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, like you said, James Harden is a proven veteran. I mean, he's been well, the only consistently good player in Houston. He's a former MVP. I mean, kind of shitty, but yeah, sometimes that's how it goes. You can kind of do whatever you want whenever you're that kind of player. But the issue with James Harden is that he's trying to get out of he's trying to get out of Houston. He's trying to force his way out. He does not want to play in Houston. He's trying to go, he wants to get the fuck out of there. And so that's kind of what made it more difficult, cuz like he wasn't showing up to training camp or to, whatever for Houston. It took him a while. I think he made it right before the first preseason game. And then he played. But not only that, like, did this affect him? It affected his teammates. You had DeMarcus Cousins, I think Eric Gordon as well. Not 100% sure about Eric Gordon, but John Wall were all deemed close contact people because of that, and were forced to miss the first game. And I think they missed. I think they're having to miss like the first three total.
Wow, that's
So
crazy.
I mean, he's affecting his team big time, but he's got to go, man. I really don't like James Harden. I used to be a big fan. I don't know why I was a big fan, but I used to be a big fan. And now, dude, he's just bugs that shit out of me. Like, he's totally one of those people that just wants to do whatever he wants to do. And
Yeah.
if he doesn't get his way, it's kind of an issue, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I get it. That he's been the guy there, but I really just don't like that. I don't like when athletes are like that. Unless you're Michael Jordan, I don't think you have any reason to be acting like that. And even then, not even Michael Jordan then. But hey, who are we to talk?
That was Dennis Rodman, actually.
That's true, dude. That guy's a trip, man.
Did
He'd
you ever wear a
leave.
wedding dress?
What's up?
Did you ever wear a wedding dress?
No. No, that guy makes some questionable decisions when it comes to stuff like that. But hey, I don't judge. So
Good.
why are
We're
you
not
judging?
about it. I was just asking
No,
you.
I would never. I would not do that.
Yeah. Well, that's sports. We'll wrap it up there.
I have more to
Um,
say.
I'll go for it.
I'm just kidding. Colts
Well, I mean, we
lost.
can
I'm
also
pissed about it.
he also
That's it.
mentioned that AJ and I are in the fantasy championship right now. I think we're
Oh,
neck and neck.
I think I beat you, dude. Have you? Because you. Okay, let's talk about this. Because you're weird about fantasy football too. So you made it in 2 year leagues, and you don't ever like to talk about it. Or we trying to? Why is it you're trying to manifest your win? Is that the? What's your? Why? Why don't you do it? Why are you like
Oh,
this?
I think you beat me too.
Huh? I know. I That's what I
Oh,
just said, dude. Unless
shit.
your kicker puts up 24 points, I beat you,
Damn, Derrick Henry only put up. Holy
dude.
shit, that's his worst game of the year.
He had he had fucking God. What did he finish? He had like 3 points up until the fourth quarter. But anyways, yeah, Devonte Adams had 3 touchdowns,
Yeah.
so I
Um.
was pretty stoked about that.
Well. Nice, dude. Congrats.
And we're gonna get into sports betting soon, right?
Yeah.
There's some
The
crazy
reason
bets out here.
the reason why I'm like that with fantasy is because I mean I used to be that guy who like watched projections, watched fantasy analyst and all this stuff
What did
and
you just say?
fantasy analyst.
Okay, there you
Yeah.
go.
But I would make sure like I was always on top of my shit. And dude, it's exhausting. And talking to other dudes about it, like, oh, dude, I'm gonna beat you. See how much I'm projected to beat you by, and oh, that was a stupid move to make this move. And
That's
I
part of it,
mean,
dude.
I hate it, man. Because I've been playing fantasy. Because you've been playing fantasy for a long time. I've been
Hmm.
playing fantasies like since high school, and I mean, it's fucking exhausting because it's like it gives you one more thing to worry about. And just becoming an adult, you have so much other shit to worry about. So, there's a lot of people who play fantasy who, they like joining it at first, but then they forget to set their weekly lineups. You always have those guys.
Yeah, and that pisses you
Um,
off.
no, I could care less. Those are easy wins. Yeah. And then you also have the guys who are always making moves, always trying to look for the top guy, waiver wires and stuff like that.
That's
Then
me.
you have me. You have me. Well, I'll just set my lineup and just see what happens because it's gambling. I mean, it's gambling, dude. You can't really determine what's gonna happen.
I
Like
beg to differ.
Derrick Henry scored under 10 points. You know what I mean? Like I was projected to beat you. Now I
Yeah,
didn't.
but we kind of knew. We kind of knew. Both of us kind of knew you weren't going to, though. That's the thing. Right? Can we agree on that?
I don't know. I wasn't checking it all today.
I'm just fucking with you. I was genuinely worried. I remember after the first set of games, I told Sarah, I was like, the Colts just lost. They blew lead and I fucking lost the kid. But here's the thing too. I offered to go halfers with you and you didn't want to do that.
This shit's stupid.
Why?
Like because just let it ride out, man. See where it takes you.
Well, it just took you to a loss, so I hope you feel good about
I do feel okay
that.
with because what once if I would have taken the win,
You would have got 75 more dollars.
that's $75 that you can have,
Don't have pity on me, dude. Just because I opened up about being unemployed.
Yeah,
You
I mean,
asshole.
fantasy's cool, man. Like I'll always do it every year, but I don't like the it's like football, man. Like I've lost a lot of interest over the years just because the environment and
Is it because people kneel?
it's the people who have the problem with the kneeling. That's what gets
Okay,
me. Yeah,
that's all I wanted to hear.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, like it's fun. I like the culture, I like the fashion of football. I like how like people like dress up. I think that's pretty cool. Like they always bring in like cool suits. I like that about the NBA too. Like Westbrook, dude. It's always looking fly as shit.
That could be you. Just
Could be.
try, dude. Once we're millionaires, though, actually, now I think about it, that's the real
Yeah.
determining factor.
But anyway, what time are we at? Should we wrap it up?
I mean, we'll go however long you want. Is there anything else you really want to talk about?
No, I think that's it. We try not to go too long. What are we at? 30 minutes? 40 minutes?
Yeah, roughly.
All right, yeah. Unless you have any, that'd be good.
No, I can't really think of it. Well, cool. Well, I'll go and close it off there. Make sure to follow us on socials everywhere. Lots of Unique Media. Check out lotsofuniquenews.com.